So guys, this is my weekly report for December 28th. And just to want to let you guys know, this is coming to the end of the year. So I want to, next week, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a video, introduce the team to the AFO channel. And we're going to have a little special drawing for the first time, where if you can choose the weight of these bluegill, then you can win an AFO clothing. I'm going to give you a sweatshirt. So guess the weight of this bluegill here that I caught, not the one Denise caught. So just put it in a comment and guess the weight of this bluegill here. We're up at Berryessa. The bluegill bite is off the hook. We're catching them in around 50 feet of water, but there's a ton of them out here. And there's some big ones out here. So anyway, let's get on with the report. So, going on this week, crabbing, still good. Commercial season is not open. They still delayed it. They're talking about maybe January 7th. We're not sure yet, but they keep closing it because there's too many whales out there, so they're not going to open it. So the crab season's been really good. The crab's been getting bigger and bigger. You know, most of them are in that 2 pound range. So there's some nice crab out there. So you can still catch them. They're very plentiful. Bodega, San Francisco, Tamales, I heard everywhere has been really decent. So other than that, the bay, haven't heard too much about halibut or anything. But the sturgeon fishing as you come in has been crazy off the hook. You got to make sure you watch the regs because of November 17th, they did change it. So if you use one tag already this year, you can only go and catch and release till the end of this year. If you haven't used any tags, you can still go out and get one fish this year. Watch the regs because January 1 it's going to change. So you have to. They're changing the slot limit size and everything. So make sure you check the regs before you go out after the first. Other things, we're going to come in a little bit, and the striper action still been really good. We were down there last week and didn't do as well as the week before because of the tides. Instead of staying out there all day, I'd rather come home and get a little sleep. But the fishing's been good. I mean, we're still catching a lot of stripers. Last week, the water temperature warmed up a little bit, and we caught some bass, and we caught a lot of crappie too. And that was up north. But I've been hearing good reports. Friends caught them in the San Joaquin, Sherman Island out there. A lot of the fish are moved out into that little deeper water, I think because of the way the weather fronts we've been having. So once you get these weather, look at today, it's really doomy out here. And, the bluegill were actually biting better when the sun was out in the morning. And then when the cloud cover came, they kind of shut off. Same thing goes with any kind of fish. So those stripers seem to be moving out a little bit deeper, getting in the main channel in that 25 to 35 feet of water. And then you can go out there and spoon them. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on spooning. Had so many comments where guys said, hey, they watched it over and over. They went out and they actually spooned a lot of fish, and they caught a lot of fish, more than they've ever caught, dropping down a spoon. So, pretty soon when the weather starts stabilizing, don't forget, pick up that swim bait, that 5-inch swim bait that, on the Rick's head, working real good. Actually, this kind of swim baits I'm using are not fish traps because they're no longer in business. The brand's called Impact. It's a bait that's made in Nevada, and it's actually really good. The tail got a really good kick to it. But those are really good baits. Remember, they're Impact. So other than that, the stripers, I'm sure they'll be moving into flats here pretty soon. The water, because of the rain that we had this last couple of weeks, the water color is still the same. You can see down about 2.5 feet. So everything's looking really good. And the water temperature actually warmed up a little bit. Pretty soon, when we get this next storm, if we get over an inch of rain, then the water starts getting a little bit off color, getting a little stained. Those fish will move more north. So the port's been good, on and off, and Liberty's been on and off, and Snodgrass has been on and off. But there's a lot of bait fish in Snodgrass, but there's not a whole lot of fish in there. They're still central in the central delta, You know, from I'd say Pittsburgh all the way to Rio Vista is probably the prime area right now. Other than that, coming inside, you know, on the lakes, like I said today, we're up here at Berryessa and we're actually bluegill fishing. You know, a lot of guys think about bluegill as being, you know, these little small ones like Denise caught, but there's some big ones out here. I mean, my friend caught one that was 2.20 the other day. They're in really abundance. Nobody fishes for them, so the lake's full of them. Nobody comes out here going bluegill fishing. So, you know, and they're really good table fare if you ever really tried them. But the bass bite in Berryessa has been a little bit quiet. I think this lake's kind of funny because it hasn't turned over. In the last couple of years, it hasn't turned. And all the bait fish I'm graphing today are still deep. They're anywhere from 50 feet down to 80 feet of water. You know, the bait's solid down there. So the lake hasn't turned, because when the lake turns, you're going to see all these bait fish come to the surface, and you're going to see, I haven't seen one trout jump. And usually this time of the year, I'd be seeing trout jumping all over the place. So it's a good indication that this lake has not turned. The trout fishing's been pretty good though. You know, the fish go by water temperature and the length of the day. And what happens is those fish will start moving up in the column and there's no bait. The bait's deeper. So, you know, whether they'll go down, you know, I really don't know, but I know a lot of guys are catching a lot of trout here, and anywhere from the surface down to 20 feet, and they're getting nice trout. So there's a lot of the lakes that I heard. Comanche's been really good. I'm sure Amador's probably pretty good. I haven't heard too much about Collins, but you know, these lakes, you can actually call these lakes and ask them, you know, when they planted, and they will give you an idea when they did their last plant. And if they do their last plant, you know, within a week, I would hit up there because you could probably catch them. First thing I would do is throw on the surface with a Rapala, Speedy Shiner. You can use a little keel weight, about 4 feet in front of a Speedy Shiner, maybe about 3/8 of an ounce, put it back about 100 feet behind a boat and go with like 2.8 to 3.2 miles an hour. You can take a shad wrap or scatter wrap and also throw like 2.5 miles an hour. No weight. I put it about 100 feet behind the boat and go like crazy. And up here at Berryessa in the past years, I killed them. They got that Eagle Lake strain trout here, and you get some nice ones. They're, you know, anywhere from 2 pounds up to like 6 pounds. So I do all that on surface trolling, and it should be happening real soon. I know Nate's been coming out here catching them. So, you know, you could do this method. I did a video. You could look back at the video and see what I did. And you could, actually, I did it at Comanche. And you could come at all the lakes right now and do a lot of catching on trout. So other than that, the crappie fishing in the Delta still been good. Like I went last week, we caught quite a few. Um, I would assume I had friends that were off to McCollum and they were catching a lot of crappie too. So I'm sure you could come out anywhere right now and catch crappie. And like I said, the bass fishing last week was pretty decent. I wasn't even fishing for them. I was fishing for stripers, catching bass. So the water temperature warmed up to that 54 degrees and it just turned them on just like that. Because prior I wasn't getting anything. So other than that, you know, pretty much all the same around here. You know, you guys, if you enjoy my videos, hit that like. Please subscribe because it'll help me out a lot. Look on the bottom if you want to leave me a comment. I'll get back within 2 or 3 days. And then if you go to alanfongoutdoor.com, our website is up and running, and we got doing a special for gift cards till the end of the year. And look at it, and you can see I'm doing some consulting now, starting the 1st of the January when I get everything situated. So it'll probably be like the second week in January when I start this. But go on the website and you can see what I'll be offering. I'm going to do on the water consultant, like, you know, electronics, show you how to run your electronics. I would actually go with you, jump in your boat, and show you how to run everything. Make sure that transducer is in the right position, and make sure your units are updated, and then off we'll go. And I'll show you as much as I can. But it's all being offered this next year in 2024. So log on there and check me out and see. And then I got new video coming out with the crew of AFO, and we're going to do something a little special, and we're actually going to have a raffle. So watch for the video to come out in a couple weeks or a week, and I'll see you guys next week.
Happy New Year. Talk to you next year.
Bye.
Bye.